Let's live on it.
Yes.
Okay, Ashley, start.
Ma'am. Good evening and a warm welcome to all. I am Ashley Anna Anil from the first year of psychology, welcoming you all to the program Together We Can, an inaugural session as part of Mental Health Observation Week. Just a little instructions before we get started. Please mute yourself to keep the quality of sound functional, and you can unmute only if you are advised to do so. If you have any queries during the session, please type them in the chat box, which will be clarified towards the end of the session. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the session. A day without prayer is a day without blessing, and a life without prayer is a life without power. Now, I call upon Ms. Bittimol Verghese from first year psychology for the prayer song.
Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, that calls me from the world of care and bids me at my Father's throne, make all my wants and wishes known. In seasons of distress and grief, my soul has often found relief and oft escaped the tempter snare by thy return, sweet hour of prayer, by thy return, sweet hour of prayer.
Thank you, Biti. Now, I invite Ms. Rohini Ravikumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology, to deliver the welcome speech.
A very fabulous evening to one and all present for this virtual gathering. You don't have to control your thoughts. You just have to stop letting them control you. Mental health inevitably plays a pivotal role in sustaining a healthy lifestyle. If health is termed as wealth, we have mental health as a golden crown adorned by a prince. The abiding pandemic ensures a plethora of issues and challenges, disrupting the stability of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Furthermore, maintaining emotional stability has become a novel predicament in every period of our life. We, the Postgraduate Department of Psychology, Christojodi College of Management and Technology, Changanasheri, in association with IQAC, is acknowledging the Mental Health Awareness Week titled Together We Can. We have a group of events organized for the subsequent days in the week to observe and popularize the importance of mental health. The responsibility vested on me is to welcome the dignitaries present this evening. First and foremost, I extend my warm welcome to our distinguished chief guest and resource person for the day, Dr. Arun Oman, neurosurgeon, Lakeshore Hospital, Cochin. We welcome you, doctor, to deliver an engaging session featuring the nexus between neuroscience and mental health.
Thank you.
The man of distinct vision and known among us for his wisdom and knowledge, our Honorable Principal, Reverend Father Joshi Chiram KCMI. It is a matter of great honor and delight to welcome our beloved Principal to this virtual gathering. I also welcome our beloved Head of Department, Dr. Angel Thomas, the supporting pillar of the Department of Psychology and the idol of knowledge and experience to this gathering. It is with great privilege I welcome the coordinators of this program, Ms. Kriba Dina Matthew and Ms. Prinsha Rajan, for their prompt backing and support in making this program a reality. Last but not the least, I welcome the faculties of this department, students, and other participants for this academic rendezvous. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I request Ms. Gayatri Jones to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Arun Uman.
Good evening. It's a great privilege to introduce our guest of honor and speaker, Dr. Arun Uman. Dr. Arun is a consultant neurosurgeon at BPS Lakeshore, Kochi, India. After his super specialty training and fellowship training in neuroendoscopy, he has worked in various super specialty centers before joining VPS Lakeshore. He is an expert in handling various neurosurgical cases and has vast surgical experience in areas like neuro-oncology, neurotrauma and neurocritical care, neuronavigation, stereotaxic neurosurgery, neuroendoscopy, and spine problems, including spine instrumentation. He has numerous international publications to his credit in various index journals. He is the editor cum advisor of the Medgrave Online Journal of Neurology and Stroke. He is also the editor of Open Access Journal of Neurology and Neurosurgery and the Neurology and Neurotherapy Open Access Journal. He is also the peer reviewer of numerous other journals. He is one of the foremost neurosurgeons in India acquiring an MBA degree. He is a regular columnist in numerous newspapers and magazines on various health-related issues. Sir, we are grateful for your presence among us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayatri. Now, I invite Dr. Arun Uman to begin the session. Over to you, sir.
So, warm good evening, Father Joshi Cheranguri, the respected principal of Prestigioti College of Management Technology, Dr. Angel Thomas, the head of the Department of Psychology, all the coordinators and respected students and other invited guests. Which is comfortable for you? You want Malayalam or English? Which is comfortable? Or you want a mix of both?
Sir, either is fine, sir. You may continue.
Fine. Okay. Just want you to understand things so we can use mixture of both. So it's always a great privilege to be invited by your college for this great session. I've known Dr. Angel, your HOD, for quite a long time. Thank you, Dr. Angel, for this wonderful opportunity. I went to a website to see a beautiful college, very nice, very beautiful campus. I think you will all be very happy to be part of this prestigious institution. So I won't be talking too much about, I'll just go straight to the topic. So today we'll be, as part of the Mental Health Week, we'll just be giving a brief outline of our mental state, our mental power, and how it can change us. And so the session, I think I'll just talk for them 20 to 25 minutes. And then after that, depending upon the time we'll answer questions. That would be a question answer session so that everyone can ask their own any specific questions, and then I'll try my best to give a proper answer. So, a human mind. What is the human mind? What is the human brain? You know that human mind, it is actually what controls our whole body, or what controls us is our mind, isn't it? So our mind, if somebody asks, which is the most powerful weapon which a human being possesses, it is obviously the human mind. The human mind is the most powerful weapon which a human can possess. It is immense potential. The power of the mind is so immense that the level of the amount of positive things or whatever things which a mind can use is unimaginable or uncontrollable. That is what we say. The human mind is unlimited. The amount of energy or the amount of productivity the mind can produce is unlimited. Humans, however hard they try, they may not be able to use even 10% of your human brain. That is what they say. That much of immense potential is there in the human brain. You know, the brain is called trillions of nerves, and nerves are connected to each other through dendrites, axons, and all those things, and through all these impulses are transmitted through neurotransmitters. So you can imagine, with trillions of nerves or neurons within your brain, you can imagine the level of trillion means it is crore, isn't it? So much of nerves, that is 1 lakh crore is equals to a trillion. So that much of nerves you have in your body. So if you can use the power of your nerves, you can definitely have a very powerful mind. So that is what we say, the power of the human body has no limits. For example, you can see so many people, they have been able to achieve things which are much beyond their own or what other people could even believe. There are people who are exceptionally high achievers. You have heard of people like Mark Inglis. Have you heard of Mark Inglis? He's a person who lost his both legs. He was a double amputee. But thing is that he was so determined that he could climb Mount Everest within 42 days, and he could achieve. Because imagine a person without two legs climbing Mount Everest. Similarly, people like Philip Croissant, he doesn't have both hands and both legs, but he could swim the French English Canal in 13 hours. So just imagine the level of power or mental power he has of Philip Croissant. Another person, Jos Alvarenga, he got lost in a ship. He's from Salvador. He got lost in a ship in a boat during one of his fishing sessions, and he could survive just with the raw fishes and insects for 14 months before he was finally found. So just imagine how these people could survive all these things. We always imagine how these people can do all these things, the level of power, the power of their human mind. So definitely there's a scientific basis. So many might be thinking how some people are able to do, why some people are not able to do. The fact is that every human being is capable of this powerful, of this immense potential. Every human mind is provided with immense potential. The thing is that only very few people use it, or very few people learn to use it. So that is the difference. So what is the scientific basis? Every humans have got immense potential. So usually the basic characteristic you have noticed is of very high achievers. What is the very basic characteristic of high achiever is that they are very positive people, very positive thinkers. That is a basic dictum, or is the things which makes people exceptionally high achievers. So that is the basic thing, positive thinking, the power of positive. Everybody has got equal opportunity. Everybody has got equal challenges. You all live in the same world, isn't it? Every resources are all the same. But some people, they are very positive and they know how to extract the best out of everything. So that is the basic dictum, or what makes people great achievers. So their mind is very strong because they don't get dejected with negative things happening there, and a small bit of positivity is enough for them to keep on bounding or keep on boosting their confidence and their own inner energy. So definitely, how can people develop this immense power of the mind? Is it genetic? Is it inherited, or is it acquired? What do you think? Is it inherited? Is it acquired? It's actually a mix of both. It is both inherited as well as acquired. Inherited means in Malayalam we say "Nyam padi, devam padi," isn't it? What God gives us, then the rest is what we do for ourselves. So Nyam padi, devam padi. 50% of our point definitely is because of our strong genes. Some people are born with strong genes. So if our parents are basically are very high determined, high achievers, naturally the chance for the kids to become high achievers higher. But at the same time, the remaining 50% entirely depends on how we train our mind. That is also very important. So we have to understand how we train our mind. You have to understand the scientific basis of improving our mind power, how we can improve our mind power, which are basically the basic scientific reason. There are certain hormones which gives us positive energy, and there are certain hormones which gives us negative energy. So what if you want to become high achievers, what we should do is you have to increase the level of our positive hormones in our body and try to reduce or decrease the influence of our negative hormones. So you will be wondering what are the positive hormones. Many of you might be knowing what are the positive hormones in our human mind, which influence our human mind. So just remember the acronym that is DOSE, DOSE. DOSE. So there are 4 hormones which are very important for our human mind. 4 hormones, that is dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. These are the 4 hormones which are positive influences of our human mind. So if you want to have a powerful mind, a high achieving personality, or if you want to develop such a personality, you have to try to increase the level of these hormones. So those dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Then other hormones which are basically on the negative influence, that is the hormones like adrenaline, noradrenaline, such hormones. Because when a person is continuously tense, their level of noradrenaline in the body will be high. They will always tense personality. They are always angry, always tensed, always in a depression mood. These are all the negative things. So a positive person, they will always be happy. They never get dejected. Happiness, always smiling. They are always calm. They are always peaceful. Whereas the negative-minded people, they are always in depression, always anxiety, always angry, always find fault with other people. They never get along with people. So these are the negative traits. So we are always try to find methods of how we can become a more positive person. The most positive person we become, the most positive minded we become, the most positive minded or most positive minded we become, the more we get start getting positive things from the society or from our surroundings, and the more positive we start getting, more and more we become achievers. So that is how we have to train our mind to become real positive achievers. So we will discuss each hormones one by one. First about dopamine. This dopamine is otherwise known as the reward chemical. Reward chemical. Suppose you do a job, do satisfactory, which is some job which you like, and you achieve you're given a target, you achieve it. Definitely, you have achieved a target. So definitely that gives us a reward feeling, and this dopamine increases in our hormone. So always what you should do is so in your job, you're given a target or your boss give you a target, you do that. And within time, you do it in a proper way, you will get a surge of dopamine in your body. So that is one is known as the dopamine, dopamine surge in your body. The other is known as the dopamine kick. Kick. That means kick dopamine kick. So that is what you call. So you set realistic goals and try to achieve them. That will give you more motivation to do more and more. That is what you should do. Always try realistic goals is very important. Don't try to do unrealistic things. Just target realistic. You should have the confidence to do it, achieve realistic things, and once you do realistic things, then you will be able to do more and more things. So that is the importance of dopamine. Once you do something and achieve something, and in a positive manner, you are successful and achieve something, your dopamine level increases, and definitely that will help you more to achieve more and more in life. This dopamine increases during acts of kindness. When you are doing acts of kindness, like helping people, giving money, giving food, this dopamine level increases, and definitely that such of activities, because that gives you peace of mind, you gives you happiness, and that will be helping you to become bigger achievers in life. That is also another trick. Trying to do act of kindness is always a quality of great achievers. So always remember that in mind. The another thing which helps to increase dopamine is music. If you listen to music, don't think that everyone listening to music can help their dopamine. If you like music, and if you like certain music, some people like classical music, some people like melodious music, some people will like rap music. Only music which you like, if you keep on hearing it, that will give you a surge of dopamine. So the dopamine is gives you a kick to achieve more and more. So always remember dopamine kick. So do more and more things which you like, and that will help to increase the level of dopamine. Second hormone is known as the oxytocin. Oxytocin, otherwise known as the love hormone. Snehathinte hormone or love hormone. It is especially more important in women than men. That is the level of oxytocin. The more the oxytocin means, it helps to increase happiness multifold and reduces stress. How this oxytocin increases is through good relationship with your beloved ones, with your spouse, with your siblings, with your parents, with your children, and with your colleagues. If you have good relationship with all these people, you definitely have this increase in the surge of oxytocin. So once the oxytocin increases, it increases the happiness multifold, it reduces stress, it increases loyalty, empathy, generosity, all these increases. So that is the importance of oxytocin. That is if you are with your beloved people, the act of touching, the act of hugging, all this helps to increase your oxytocin level. So these are all things which you should understand and try to. So always try to have a good relationship with your people around you, all the beloved people around you. You should have noticed successful people. They will have a good relation. They will be having a proper family. They will be having good relationship with their colleagues, with their friends. They'll be having good circle of friends. So these are all things which influences or helps to improve a man's achievements, because once the level of oxytocin increases, his level of happiness is also high. So he will be able to take up more and more challenges. The level of stress is stress and all these negative factors reduces, as well as able to do more and more positive things. So that is the power of oxytocin. It is a love hormone. It increases during acts of love. The next hormone, otherwise known as serotonin, is known as the leadership hormone. That is, this serotonin is the hormone which helps to boost confidence, self-esteem, inner satisfaction, and gives us a sense of purpose. This is what is known as the leadership hormone. It boosts our self-esteem, gives us a sense of purpose, gives inner satisfaction. That is, you feel a self-esteem. So that is the power of serotonin. So, and serotonin drastically reduces stress. So how do you increase the level of serotonin? The most important factor which increases the level of serotonin or helps to reduce serotonin is moderate exercises. That is aerobic exercises like walking, brisk walking, jogging. All this helps to improve the level of serotonin in our body. So you can see basically it is a leadership hormone. So people with high level of serotonin, they always they have a commanding power. Their personality, they'll be able to influence people. That is what is the basic character of a leader is they'll be able to influence your colleagues, your subordinates. They will be able to influence. So that is the basic character of a leader. So serotonin is high in these leaders. So moderate exercises helps to increase our level of serotonin. So people who take regular exercises, definitely they will be having more self-esteem, more confidence, and they'll be having a sense of purpose, all whatever that. So that's you can see them. You can see the change in the personality between people who take regular exercises. Then exposure to sunlight is also another thing which helps to increase the level of serotonin. You can see in places like Kerala, we don't have shortage of exposure to sunlight. But in some areas such as European countries or the northern or southern hemisphere, what happens is that many times there won't be many months there won't be sunlight, or the amount of sunlight will be much less. There'll be just few hours of sunlight during the day. That is during the winter season. So these are common things will happen. In that places, what happens is this exposure to sunlight, it is a very important thing in a human's mind. When the sunlight, the exposure to sunlight decreases, definitely it reduces the level of serotonin. And one serotonin reduction is a major cause for depression. Can just say it's a major cause for depression. You can see during winter season, you can just ask your colleagues in all these European countries that during the end of the winter season, they were going into severe depression. They will be so moody and also irritable. So all this happens during winter season. It is because of this reduction in sunlight can reduce the level of serotonin. So serotonin, high level of serotonin is a thing which should be which helps to reduce depression. Then there are certain diets or certain food which can help to increase serotonin. The most commonly or the most significant is bananas. Bananas can help to improve the level of serotonin in our body. Then salmon, soya, spinach, all these things are food materials which can help to improve the level of serotonin. So serotonin is a leadership hormone which helps to improve the self-esteem. Then the fourth hormone is endorphins. Endorphins, otherwise known as the happiness hormone. The more happy you are, if you keep on happy, if you're always laughing, smiling, such people, the level of endorphins will increase. Endorphins increases during when does this endorphins increase? Endorphin increases basically when you're always happy, always smiling. Usually this level of endorphins increases. That is why we say whenever you get a chance to laugh or whenever you get a chance to smile, always please don't try to keep it back. Just laugh, just smile. That will improve your endorphin levels. Then heavy exercises, sexual act, listening to music, then a certain food like chocolates can helps to increase the level of endorphins. Then meditation, it is a very powerful method to improve your level of endorphin. Proper medication, then regular yoga, all this can helps to improve your level of endorphin. Definitely, it gives a very strong positive influence in your mind. It reduces anxiety, it reduces depression. It's very much so. The higher the endorphins, you're more happy. It reduces anxiety, it reduces depression. You can see some people if they do regular exercises, after some time they won't be able to stop exercises. Why? Because they developed an exercise addiction. Why? Because of the high level of endorphins released during exercises. What happens is people once they stop exercises, this endorphin level goes and they go into a moody state. So they can understand that if they don't do exercises, they go into a moody state or go into a state of depression. Many people either who have been doing exercises for for years of exercises, they won't be able to stop their doing exercise, because if they stop exercise, their endorphin levels grows and they go into a moody state. So that is the importance of endorphins. And you can it is also the high level of endorphins is a natural painkiller. That is also a importance of endorphins. So in severe when there is endorphin deficiency, we can commonly see people had developing a condition known as fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is a common condition. Most of you might have heard whatever. This generalized pain, always pain. Especially it's more common in middle-aged women. Always pain. They will be having headache, always headache, neck pain, back pain, gastritis. All these are very common in commonly seen in people suffering from fibromyalgia. This is the common symptoms. You do a lot of tests, you do a lot of scans, everything, and then all the tests will be normal. But and you give a lot of medicines, it won't be responding. So the basic problem in fibromyalgia is basically it is a response. Stress or depression, chronic depression, chronic stress, fibromyalgia, very commonly seen in women or people who are in chronic stress or chronic depression, fibromyalgia. In these people, if you test the level of endorphin, it will be very low. So these are the 4 major hormones which are otherwise known as dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, which we should train and try to improve the level in our body. The more you have all these hormones in our body, more positive becomes, more our mind becomes powerful, and more we will be able to achieve more and more things. So that is what you should do. So the 4 hormones are dopamine, or otherwise known as the reward chemical, oxytocin, otherwise known as a love hormone, serotonin, the leadership hormone, and endorphin, or the happiness hormone. So these are the 4 hormones which you should try, and you should understand methods or the techniques to improve this hormones. So basic thing is try to be happy, do things which makes you happy. Whenever you have a passion, suppose you will be during your study time, you will be supposed to study so many things, but in between studies you have to pursue your passion. For example, a child is that has good skills in drawing, or he likes to hear music, or he has interest in some activities. Always allow the child to do that in between studies, because what happens is that if you pursue your passion, your brain power increases, your positive hormones increases, and that will help you to study better. It improve your study efficiency. That is also, they become very fast learners. They can memorize better, they can understand things better. So always try to pursue, allow kids. It's very important. Many a times kids are not allowed to pursue their passion. ഒന്നും വരയ്ക്കണ്ട, അതിന്റെ വേസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ടൈം. നിങ്ങളൊന്നും ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആവശ്യമൊന്നുമില്ല, വരയ്ക്കാൻ പാടില്ല, നിങ്ങൾ അത് ഡ്രോ ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ല, അങ്ങനത്തെ മ്യൂസിക് കേൾക്കാൻ പാടില്ല. Kids will be interested in gardening. അതും ചെയ്യാൻ സമയത്തിൽ you are wasting time, you should go and study. So always study may not be an efficient way of studying. Always try to give some time to pursue your passion, and that give a positive influence in their mind and that helps them to become better learners. That is also very important. Then I would just like to highlight a few things that helps to improve our other techniques or other methods we can helps to increase our brain power. Brain power, or definitely the more powerful brain you have, the more powerful mind you have. Then the more powerful mind you have, you get better and better achievers. Because great achievers means you have got a powerful mind. That is the basic dictum. If you don't have a great powerful mind, you won't be able to achieve much in life. So because the life is always a challenge, but the more you are able to withstand or handle challenge, the more successful you become. So basic thing is that you have to learn the techniques of becoming great achievers by accepting more and more challenges. Once you achieve a level of challenges, then go for more and more challenges. So that is how you achieve things. So how to improve our brain power? First is brain workouts. What is this brain workouts? Brain, muscle workout, brain has also got brain workouts. So what is the basic thing is that you have got millions, trillions of neurons in our brain. So you have to keep on stimulating all these neurons to become more and more, develop more and more powerful brain and more and more powerful mind. So how do you do that? See, basically, brain workout there are certain things you should do which can help to improve your brain, and it is different for different people. For one person, the brain workout can be this, other person brain workout may be that. So as I said earlier, brain workout, the basic detail is that first thing is that you should do things which you like. Do things which you like. That is first thing. Second thing is it should be rewarding. When you do it, you should feel a sense of purpose. You should feel pride in doing it. Suppose a child is good in drawing. He draws something. He gets acceptance. Definitely, he should keep on doing more and more things. More and more drawing. So that is how you should do things of passion, which you are passionate for you. You have to keep on challenging. It should be rewarding. It should be challenging. Every time, don't do the same every time drawing a horse. Somebody says, very good, you draw a good horse. Next time again drawing a horse doesn't improve his brain. You have to do more and more challenging things. So that is how you improve your brain power. So it should be rewarding. It should be challenging. You should have the passion for doing it. So that is the basic things of a brain workout. Everybody, just because that person is doing a brain challenge means it is basically exercises, a brain exercise, a brain challenge. So and it is different for different people. And the basic thing is you should like it. You should feel it as challenging, and you should be feeling as rewarding. Basic things is stretching your capacity of your mind, improve, keeping on stretching your. You have got 1 trillion nerves, and you're not able to use even 10,000 or 1 million. You want to be able to use it. So keep on stretching your nerves, stimulating your nerves, stimulating your nerves, stimulating your nerves, and finally you become a better and better version of yourself. That is the basic things. We always try to become better and better version of yourself. Don't compare with other person, because your brain is unique. Everybody's brain is unique. So always try to stimulate your brain and become better and better. Your challenge should be only yourself. You cannot become someone in your in your neighborhood cannot be your challenge. You can take examples from them. That's okay, but you have to keep on challenging yourself. Your talents you should be understand and keep on improving. If someone is good in drawing, keep on improving your talents. If you're good in music, you're good in instruments. People are A.R. Rahman, they are able to achieve because they are able to stimulate their own talents. You cannot just imagine A.R. Rahman, somebody is training him to become a doctor. What would have been his fate? It would have been a total disaster, isn't it? He cannot become a doctor, but because of his musical skills, and because he understood it from his childhood, and because he had the right atmosphere and the right resources to do it, he became a very great musician. And these people, they keep on challenging themselves with their own talents. Similarly, Sachin Tendulkar, somebody is trying to make him an advocate, or somebody is trying to make him a businessman. What would have happened? Another total disaster, isn't it? These people, but Sachin Tendulkar is not even a matriculate. If you try to make him an academician, he would have become a total disaster. But because of his playing skills and because of his cricket skills, he is now one of the best cricketer India or the world has seen, because he has been challenging himself, his own cricketing skills. So this is the examples. All high achievers are like that. Everybody cannot be a big academic achievers. There are so many other things where you can achieve your things or become high achievers. It can be music, it can be art, it can be entertainment business, whatever. Michael Jackson, just see, I think he has not even studied after fifth in his school. That is what I know. I don't think he has to say. He had just some private session. From the age of 5, he has been into music, and just see, he's one of the biggest, the best pop singer the world has ever seen. Is because he has been stretching his capabilities, keeping on challenging himself again and again and again and again. Once he achieves one level, then he again goes to the next level. That's how you challenge yourself. That is brain workouts. Then other things which can help to improve, there are certain diet or there are food materials which can help to improve your brain power. Things like blueberries. Blueberry is a very strong antioxidant. Then almonds, avocado. Then certain small fish such as salmon with their high contents of omega fatty acids that can help to improve your brain power. Then iron and zinc containing food. Then chocolates, flavonoids in chocolates can be very effective. Then ginkgo biloba, there are things like that. Then give me green, this tea, especially green tea, organic green tea. That's also known to be a powerful brain stimulator. So all these are some of the food materials or one of the food which you can help to improve. Then proper hydration, that's also very important. Similarly, there are then exercises. I've told you the importance of exercise. Exercise helps to improve your level of serotonin, helps to improve the level of endorphins, and definitely make you a much better person. So always find time for doing regular exercise. So you always say exercise improves your health. Definitely, it improves your health. It improves your mind. It gives you a very powerful mind. So always try to develop techniques for improving exercises. Then sleep. There's another thing. Always find time for sleep. The sleep means not the duration is not only important. For adult, it is 7 to 9 hours per day. You have to have sleep. The duration, only the duration is not only duration. You have to have quality sleep. That is, sleep has got different cycles. There's a N1, N2, N3, and REM sleep. N1 means there's the initial light sleep. Then you go to the N2, and N3 is the deep sleep. And then you have to REM sleep. REM sleep is the phase where you have dreams. So this N3, that is the deep sleep, it's the most important part of sleep. And each cycle is N1, N2, N3, REM is 90 minutes. So during a full cycle, you should have at least 4 to 6 cycles. That is also very important. So a proper sleep, you have to assess your sleep. The thing is that the duration, not only the duration, you should go into deep sleep. That is also very important. How to achieve? Some people they can have deep sleep in anywhere they sleep, but some people they get disturbed very often. So you have to invest your maximum, or in your house, which is a place where you should invest maximum, is actually your bedroom. Because if you have a proper sleep, your health, your mind, your mind and body both improves. The mind power improves, the health also improves. So you should have a proper sleep. So invest maximum in you should have the most comfortable place in your house should be your bedroom. During sleep, make sure that it is completely dark, because melatonin, the hormone which induces sleep, is released only in darkness. So if you try to sleep in a well-lit light, you may not be able to have proper sleep. So always a very comfortable mattress, very comfortable pillows. Then make sure the temperature is correct. You can use air conditioners if you need it. Make sure there is no mosquitoes or other insects, and make sure it is a dark room. So all these are things which you can do to improve your sleep. What happens is sleep is during deep sleep, there's a part in your brain known as the hippocampus. All your logical thinking, all your memory, everything get consolidated. Long-term memory get consolidated only during deep sleep. So you can see people who doesn't sleep properly, they always be in a absent-minded. They won't be able. Their productivity will be drastically reduced. And you always, they'll go into a depressive phase, or they'll always be anxious. So all this because during sleep, all this body, if your body goes into the deep sleep phase, the brain goes into the rest phase. And this rest phase is very important in consolidating whatever we have learned. And whatever, then that will drastically help to improve your memory. So, and this happens in the part known as the hippocampus. So that is the importance of deep sleep. How do you understand whether you have deep sleep? Is I told you we have 4 to 6 cycles in a day. So if each cycle you're supposed to get some dreams, isn't it? So if you get 3 or 4 dreams per night, it means that you have had a good sleep. Some people can assess your sleep. There's a very rough method of assessing whether you have gone into deep sleep. So 3 or 4 dreams, you may not be able to recollect it, but things you have had some dreams. That means and then dreams should be smooth dreams. Severely sleep deprived person, sometimes these people, or severely anxious person, they may develop these nightmares. Nightmare is not an indication of proper sleep. So smooth sleep, that is smooth dreams, that is indicator of good sleep. And if you have 2 or 3 smooth dreams during a night, it indicates that you have had a good sleep. Okay, so we hope you understood. Then other things. Then socializing is another things which helps to develop a powerful mind. Socializing, you develop a good relation with your colleagues, your friends, your spouse, your family, everything. But I mean, all this is socializing, actually a good learning technique. Without taking any efforts, you get so much of information and so much of positive things from your people, and and you give positive information or positive energy to your people whom you associate. So socializing is a very good technique to develop a very strong mind. So socializing, and I told you, so with socializing, when you socialize well, the level of endorphins increase, the level of oxytocin increase. All these are positive influence, gives positive influence on your mind. Then stress is one of the worst thing which can destroy your mind. Stress doesn't mean that you have to live a stress-free life. Everybody has stress. Stress is there everybody has stress. The basic thing is how you handle stress. That is the difference. Some people are very good at handling stress. Some people are very poor in handling stress. So you have to learn techniques of how to handle stress. That is a very important thing. So there are so many techniques which you can learn to handle stress, and it's different for different people. Basic thing is do things during your relaxation. Find time for relaxation and do things which gives you relaxation. It can be meditation, it can be yoga, it can be music, it can be talking to your friends, it can be watching television, whatever. But always find techniques. You have to find so you cannot tell others that I do this so I get stressed, you should also do that. You cannot say that. Everybody has different techniques of reducing stress. You have to find your own technique and you have to do it. Basic thing is do things which you like, and never try to About just somebody saying that if you do, if somebody is good in drawing, some people say, why you wasting your time in drawing? Definitely what happens is the patient, that person goes into a depressive phase, and that is not good for his mind. So always pursue your passion, your passion. That is very important. Pursue your passion. It is a God-given gift. What your passion is a God-given gift, and you have to keep on pursuing it. Then another thing which can help to improve your develop a strong mind is having a healthy body. That is also important. All lifestyle diseases you have to try to control. Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, heart disease, all these things. You have to learn all preventive measures to avoid all this thyroid problems. All these are things which gives you a weak body, and because when you have a big body, definitely your mind also will become weak. So a healthy body always gives you a healthy mind. So these are the things which helps to give you a strong mind. So everybody is capable of having a very powerful mind. The more there is no limit to have as you know, you have got trillions and trillions of nerves, but there is no naturally there is no limit for having a powerful mind. If people like Mark Inglis without 2 legs, he can climb Mount Everest. Definitely, with we all people, we are blessed with so much of resources, so much of talent, so much of opportunities. Definitely we can achieve things which is be much beyond what other people can even imagine. It is possible. Only thing is we have to work for it. You have to understand the correct technique, and you have to strive for it. So always there are lots of factors for all these things, but if you know the correct technique, definitely we can become people with a very powerful mind. So always try to train ourselves to become people with very powerful mind, and everything will follow. We can become success. Everything just follow. You just need to have a very powerful mind, and everything will just follow. So I think I just stop my talk here, and I will try to take questions, because definitely there's no point in keeping on talking and talking. I will try to, if anybody is interested, you can ask questions, and definitely I will try to answer them in the way, as per my knowledge. So thank you for the patient hearing. I think I crossed time. Sorry. And anyway, let's try to take a few questions. I think we have time for questions, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session and enriching us with the importance of mental health. Next, Q&A session. If you have any queries, please drop them in the chat box. Sir, we have a question that is asked by Ken. Why night terrors occur in small children?
What is it?
Why night terrors occurs in small children?
Night terror or nightmares is not always seen in small children. It is seen in anybody. It can happen in adults also. Nightmares are basically these dreams. Basically it is a reflection of your subconscious mind. People say that dreams may predict the future. Dreams is telling you about. People give different interpretation. The study of dreams, otherwise known as oneirology, definitely it's just a reflection of your subconscious mind, and it just comes on daily. You'll be having different vague things. Many happenings from different incidents may get combined into a single dream. All this happens during dreams, because people, we all have seen dreams. We have understood. It's basically a reflection of your subconscious mind. This night terrors or nightmares is basically people is seen in anxious people, or people who are always stressed, who as small kids, if someone scares them, some adults can just show faces like this and try to scare them. So that child may develop night terrors during it, because that person who's scaring is maybe doing it out of joke, just be doing a joke, just to playing with the child. But the child may take it seriously, and he may feel that somebody is trying to harm him. So such feelings can come. So such a child who is anxious, also always scared, can have this night terrors. Then another thing is that this stranger anxiety develops when the child is some 9 months to some 2 years. Very common, stranger anxiety, because child always gets so much attached to the mother. So especially in working mothers, if the mother goes from goes for work and is out of it's not in the house for a long time, such kids, they may always be feeling, and they will be missing their mother, and they start getting this anxious feeling that the mother has left them. That is very common in very small kids. Such kids can also have this night terror. So basically, it is seen in anxious kids or stress kids who are under stress. Okay.
Thank you, sir. The next question is that we can have deep sleep without experiencing dream. Like, can we have deep sleep without experiencing dream?
Yes, it is possible. I just give a vague. We don't know if you have to. If you want to assess your sleep depth, you have to do tests like polysomnography. We don't have the, everyone cannot access. We have to go to a sleep lab to do such tests. So just for a general understanding, I told that people who go into deep sleep will have smooth dreams. That is just a general understanding. But people who go into deep sleep can also, without even dreams, people can go into deep sleep. That's also possible.
Okay, sir. So the next question is that what time of sunlight is appropriate, early morning or midday? It's asked by Revati.
Appropriate for what?
So it's
For health.
so, yes, sir.
See, sunlight, usually early morning sunlight means the heat will be less. So definitely people can more tolerance for early morning sunlight and as well as evening sunlight. But some problem is that it is different for different people. High sunlight means it is because of the high heat, patient can have tendency for dehydration and fatigue much more. So definitely people, we do not recommend that people should go spend so much time in midday. Early morning sunlight is always nice. Another problem is this sunlight is in early morning or some late evening, sometimes this infrared may be higher than the daytime. So what happens is the people who are prone from migraine, people will say that I saw the evening sunset and then I got headache. Many people are subcontracted. This is a trigger for migraine. So in such people, they may have to avoid this evening sunlight. That is sunset. Sunset. They may have to avoid seeing the sunset. People will say they go to beach and by the time they come back, they said they have a severe headache. This because it is this sunset or sunrise can trigger migraine. Otherwise, there's no harm in exposing yourself during daytime and daytime. Even if you have capability, even exposing during the midnight is also midday is also okay. You can know we always know that is farmers people. There are farmers, minor workers. They always working continuously during the day. Their physical capability is much high, so they will be able to withstand. Everybody may not be able to withstand, but if you are able to withstand, it's okay. Only thing is that you have to hydrate yourself properly. Then if you are prone to migraine, then you may have to avoid sunlight. Sunlight is a major trigger for migraine.
Excuse me, you have connected the serotonin and sunlight. So that is why such a question may arise, right?
Yeah, serotonin, serotonin production of body increases with exposure to sunlight. Also, sunlight is important for production of vitamin D in our skin. So that is also important.
So the next question is that is it harmful to sleep with our heads covered?
Head covered with blanket.
Yes, sir.
The thing is that if you cover yourself with blanket, you are exhaling and you are inhaling. So the level of carbon dioxide will be higher with below the blanket. So always good to keep your nose exposed during sleep. That is a better way of sleeping. Covering yourself means your the level of carbon dioxide within the blanket will be higher. It's not a good thing, and high carbon dioxide is not doesn't give you proper sleep.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, what could be the reason of sleeplessness and how do we deal with it? It's asked by Meera.
There are thousands of reasons for sleeplessness. It can be due to your poor mental state. It can be due to your physical state, some problems with your physical state. There are so many reasons. I don't know how to start because if I start here, it will take a long time. But definitely, if you have a disturbed mind, definitely your sleep will be abnormal. You're in an anxious state, a person in depression, such state, definitely your sleep, you won't be able to go into a deep sleep. You may go into, you may have a superficial sleep and you may not go into a deep sleep. Then some people, especially obese people, snoring. because of the high level of fat in the throat. Once they go into deep sleep, the tone goes, the tone in our throat suddenly reduces and it started obstructing our airway. Suddenly, so that is why this snoring occurs. If it is so severe, these people suddenly, because of the lack of oxygen, they suddenly start. You can see, especially obese people, they start snoring and then again they start turning because when the oxygen carbon dioxide level in the body rises, it keeps suddenly carbon dioxide is a stimulator for the brain. So when the carbon dioxide in the body rises, it stimulates the brain and then keep disturbing. And definitely with the lack of oxygen, just like suffocation, they get disturbed and they turn to that side, suddenly stop snoring and again goes into sleep. Again they start snoring and again that is. So this obesity and snoring is a major problem for improper sleep. They never go into the deep sleep. They always have a superficial sleep. It is a very unhealthy problem. So this it is otherwise known as obstructive sleep apnea. This is severe snoring, obstructive sleep apnea. That is, they don't have this regular breath during deep sleep. That is a very major problem and definitely reduces the quality of sleep. Then so many physical problems, body ache, all this can reduce sleep. So I think is another big topic. So proper sleep. Achieving proper sleep is also a challenge. It is different for different people. You have to understand your own you have to develop your own techniques for developing a proper sleep.
Sir, what are the influences of caffeine on mood swings? It's asked by
caffeine is a mood stimulator. It's a brain stimulator. It improves your awakeness. So that is why people in the morning they take coffee, or when they're tired they try to they take coffee. They gives them a temporary mood. It gives a temporary brain stimulating effect. Caffeine definitely when you're in a dull mood or when you're in an anxious mood, definitely caffeine can help. Too much of caffeine problem is that you can go into a level of addiction because of this constant CNS stimulation, because of the constant brain stimulation, you can go into a addictive mood. Moreover, caffeine taken before sleep can also decrease because of the brain stimulation, it can reduce the quality of sleep. So always try to avoid taking caffeine at least few hours before sleep. Basically, it is a brain stimulator. Definitely helps to gives us more stimulation for doing work, especially when we are tired or in the middle of work. When you get tired, you can a cup of coffee can definitely help to improve our brain power. It's only a temporary effect, not a constant or a permanent effect. It gives a temporary stimulus to our brain.
Sir,
excuse me, regarding this question, if we take excessive caffeine, is it acts as a depressant?
Excessive caffeine, the problem is that if you feel once you get once you start enjoying the CNS stimulation, it becomes like an addiction. Soon this stimulant goes, again you feel like taking caffeine, it becomes like an addiction, and that is why these people go into a depressive phase. So basic things are caffeine is good for your body, it's good for your brain thing, but it should not be taken in excess. Definitely it gives you a very can produce some instability in your mind. And you can see that people caffeine addicts caffeine addiction is seen in very anxious people or very stressful people. This caffeine addiction is commonly seen, especially people in the film field. You can see people always get because of the constant stress to deliver, or people they always have this tendency to take caffeine, and they can become an addiction. So too much of caffeine is not actually recommended. You can take it on moderation, no problem.
So is it true that eating chocolates before bedtime causes less sleep?
So, chocolate, just like caffeine, is also another mood stimulator. Is a brain stimulator. Okay. And definitely because of a brain stimulator, that is why during exams, when it is recommended that children should be given chocolates in between exams. You can give a piece of chocolate that can help to improve their alertness. That is also recommended. Many schools also does that. Even kids are allowed to bring chocolates. In between, they can take on chocolate and eat, because it gives a temporary boost to your brains and helps to improve your, helps to better recollection. Recollection during exams. So definitely it is good for the brain. It doesn't improve memory, but it gives a temporary, helps to improve the recollection and helps to give a transient state of alertness. It's not good to sleep, have chocolates before sleep because of this more CNS stimulation. It may hamper the quality of sleep.
Sir, is there any problem if we sleep late, like meaning like between 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., or is it necessary to have a regular bedtime?
Regular bedtime is very important because you know there is the hormone in the body which induces sleep is known as melatonin. It is secreted from the pineal gland. This melatonin increases when in darkness. So when the sun sets, within few hours, once you switch off your light, this melatonin suddenly increases. That is how it induces sleep. And with sunrise, this melatonin suddenly decreases and it gives you wakefulness. So if you sleep at 3 a.m., you have to by 6 a.m. What happens is that when the sunlight comes, this melatonin decreases, and definitely the quality of sleep. Even if you try to sleep, you may not be able to sleep properly. Otherwise, you should have a very dark room without any disturbance, isn't it? So this 3 a.m. sleeping is not at all a healthy trend. Many of the youngsters are doing that, but it is not at all a healthy trend. The best time is always 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. That is the best time to sleep, because by the time you have a good, proper sleep, 8 hours of sleep, then the sun will rise, the melatonin decreases, and you get into a state of wakefulness. By 3 a.m. if you sleep, but even by 10 a.m. you'll be sleeping. But thing is that by 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. you will be having you may not go into a deep sleep. You may having a superficial sleep with a lot of disturbances, and definitely that is not good for your body. When you sleep, you should have a quality sleep, and that quality sleep means that the deep phase of sleep, that is N3 phase, is very important, and you have to achieve at least with the 3 or 4 deep sleeps during your entire sleep period. Okay.
Why does sleep paralysis happen, sir? It's asked by Blessy. Sleep
paralysis basically this is another thing. If you are totally sleep deprived, some people, they are totally, basically it is a disorder of sleep. Sleep paralysis basically is what you mean is you are seeing some dreams, and then you feel like fighting, and thing is that you are not able to move. Actually, it is majority case it is a normal thing. Everybody has experienced that. You might be seeing a fighting scene during a dream, and you want to fight, you can kick, but thing is that you cannot move your limbs during such things. But once you suddenly wake up, definitely that dream will go, and then you will be, when you are able to start moving, the dream will go. That is how what happens during certain dreams. But actually, it doesn't. It is not actually a major problem. Another form of sleep paralysis is when you're totally sleep deprived, suddenly go into sleep. What happens is that you'll go into the deep phase suddenly without going to the N1, or because this N1 phase, that is superficial sleep, needs some time. Then the N2, that's also needs some time. Then only you go to the deep sleep. But if you're severely deprived, you suddenly go into the deep sleep phase. Suddenly, as soon as you sleep, you start seeing dreams, and all this sleep dreams and all this gestures happen. So what happens is that the quality of sleep may not be good. The quality of the dreams may not be good. You may be having this nightmares. You will be having this irrational dreams. Happens in such ways. And in that, it is during such dreams that all your abnormal movements, or you start seeing all these fighting scenes, struggling, shouting, all those scary dreams, and finally you try to move, you won't be able to move, and all those things happens. So this is commonly seen in anxious people. It is commonly seen in severely deep deprived people. It is seen in highly stressed individuals. But even in normal individuals, it can happen.
What about this Saturday night palsy? Is it psychological? Any psychological reasons behind
Saturday
that?
night palsy, it is not a psychological, it's a physiological problem. What happens is,
yeah, because now usually students during the exam period they have this type of issues. So can you please?
Typically Saturday night palsy is when you sleep with your hands like this. There's the radial nerve which supplies the wrist. If you give continuous pressure, they are under the influence of alcohol, they'll be totally drowsy, and for either 6 to 8 hours, they'll be continuously pressing your arm, and then indirectly there will be continuous pressure on your radial nerve. So what happens is that when you get up, your hands will be, you won't be able to move. That is known as the Saturday night palsy. by Sunday morning, you'll not be able to move your hands. After 2 or 3 days after continuous, once the pressure is used, then slowly the nerves recovers, and then you will be able to move your hand. So that is known as Saturday night palsy. It is basically a radial nerve neuropraxia. Continuous pressure reduces the function of the radial nerve, and once the pressure releases, slowly it recovers. It is usually because you can imagine because how we will be able to sleep with 8 hours in one single position. Basically, heavily intoxicated people, isn't it? It's Saturday night. That is why it's called Saturday night. After a heavy bout of alcohol, they go and sleep somewhere where they don't know where they're sleeping. They will not be having a proper pillow. They'll use their hands as a pillow, and then they will sleep for 8 hours in a single position. And then by the time they get up, they will not be able to move their hands. That is Saturday night palsy.
So why does lucid dreaming happens?
Lucid dreaming.
Yes, sir.
Lucid dreaming is also part of sleep deprivation because suddenly you're just drowsing and then suddenly you start dreaming. There is lucid dreaming. It is basically seen in sleep deprived or highly stressed people.
Okay, so next question is that what made you say that nurture has 50% control over one's mental abilities?
Yes.
Like what did you mean by that?
See, it's not exactly 50%. It is our mental state has a genetic inheritance as well as a inherited property. How much genetic and how much inherited is different for different people. If you do not train your mind at all, then definitely your mental state is definitely will be dependent on your genetic influence. So if you keep on training your mind, you're a good trainer. You know how to train your mind. Definitely the environment influence of your mind will be higher than your genetic influence. So that's what exactly it's not like 50%, 50%. So everybody has got a chance to train your mind. If you're good in training your mind, you'll have a better mind, stronger mind, and become better achievers. So always learn the technique of training your mind. If you don't train, then you'll have to depend on your genetic mind and just keep moving. So if you can train your mind, definitely the environmental influence also takes over, and it can even be better than the genetic mind. Doesn't mean that you have seen so many people, the parents will be very ordinary people, but they become very extraordinary achievers because they are able to train their mind and become great achievers. So that's how it happens.
Could we get the hormone kick if we know that we will get it if we do a certain thing?
Hormone kick means dopamine kick. If it is dopamine, dopamine is a hormone which gets released when you do things which you like. When you achieve a target, we get a dopamine kick. When you do something, your boss come and tell you, great, you did a great thing. That gives you a dopamine kick. That is a kick. And definitely because of the kick, you'll be motivated to do more and more. So a good boss or a good leader, what they do is they properly know how to motivate their colleagues or their subordinates. The more you give them a dopamine kick, the more efficient they become workers, and that is how you improve the team efficiency. So great leaders should always know how to give dopamine kicks to all your team members. So definitely it is a motivation hormone. Dopamine kick means it gives you more and more motivation.
Doctor, please,
Yeah.
please, Ashley. So, from the faculty's point of view, past 1 year that we are undergoing the education on the online mode, with the excessive use of screen addiction.
Yes.
Now the students are slowly back into the normal class situation, but still the excessive addition of the screen or the excessive uses of mobile or electronic gadgets is still pervading. What are the how will you tackle this situation to bring students back to the normal rhythm?
So this is screen time is actually it has advantages as well as it has its own disadvantages. Definitely more of screen time. Definitely it has there we have as doctors we have seen lots of emotional and lots of psychological changes in kids. Because of this increase in screen time, their emotional attachment, their emotional feelings, everything definitely will come down. But because of the situation, we are forced to increase their screen time, isn't it? We are forced to increase because we have no other option. Definitely, suddenly changing may not be, because especially for these toddlers, that is child. There are kids who are, if are 6 years, they have not seen UKG, they have not seen LKG. So such kids, they may not be used to this classroom atmosphere. So definitely, there should be a transition period when you cannot suddenly put them into the school. They may not be able to understand or able to appreciate the essence of a real classroom. If you have to consider both the not only from the child's perspective, from the health point of view, this sudden transition also may not be too possible. You have to, it should be a gradient, or it should be a gradual process. You have to initially you may have this hybrid method, or hybrid class should be taken. That is, half of the kids can attend online, half of the kids can go to class, and then again keep interchanging. So such things will be going on for a few months, because that is the only way. We cannot suddenly open all the schools and allow the kids to come, because that will just not
what are the, from the medical point of view, what are the difficulties that the teenagers, even now the college students are attending this session, what are the difficulties that will face in later from the health point of view, the excessive uses of mobile and all these things?
Dr. Arun, your audio is not. It is not.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay. Okay. See, this what happens with the screen time is that your emotional attachment, that is one of the major things which is going to be hampered. So definitely such things, these people, because of this, they are always they are more exposed to an inanimate or a artificial world, isn't it? The more they get exposed to this artificial world, this emotional attachment and emotional binding drastically comes down. This is a major problem, even not only due to this COVID, even before that also, because of the increased use of these electronic gadgets. This emotional attachment comes down. These people, they are not capable, or they are not able to handle the normal stress which other people face. So what happens is that they because of these online games, online challenges and all those things, they are always exposed in an artificial world, and they get discharged from the normal or natural world. So definitely the personality, there's a drastic problem. Lots of problems occurs in the personality of a child. They get angry very fast. They are not able to handle stress. They outburst very fast. They are not able to handle the stress that is required to achieve something. All this happens, is very commonly seen. And the suicide tendency, because many a times because of this, they are in an artificial world. They get detached from reality, and the number of suicide cases or suicide attempts is increasing. Even in now, at least in our hospital, there are two kids. One is a 14-year-old kid, and another is a 15-year-old kid. One is a boy, one is a girl. Both of them suicide attempt. They survived, but their basic thing is, one reason was one was a love failure. A 14-year-old child was a love failure. Otherwise, that the mother did not buy the gadget. He already have a iPhone. Thing is that he had for some Mac laptop something. Mother said no, it is not possible, and that child went and committed suicide. This is the level of tolerance. They get detached from reality. They are not able to understand reality. They always live in an artificial world. So definitely gadgets, online things is always good. We will need it in our future. It is the future, but definitely there should be a certain level of control over such things. And the psychologists are so busy nowadays. They're so busy nowadays that you don't even they work from early morning till night, because the number of people who are suffering with these psychological problems has drastically increased in this COVID season. There's so much that many people call me personally. Can you get me some psychologist number, please? Because very difficult to get. Everybody is busy. What to do? So the thing is that people they get discharged from the real world, and they are moving in an artificial world, and definitely that is hampering their mind power. So definitely because there's lack of socialization, all these mental exercises which happens with interpersonal relationship is coming down. So definitely that will damage our mental state. So definitely, I think once the COVID the season has comes down and so people start moving out, definitely this mental state will improve in people. But definitely it is at least 12 to 15% of the people are in a severe psychic phase as of now. That is what we feel, students, including students. Social interaction is a very important aspect of improving our mind, of improving our psychic state, of improving our mind power. If that is not there, definitely it will have its own negative effects.
Doctor, we are continuously hearing the incidents like which has happened in the past week in St. Thomas College, Palsy. So one of the lovers committed murder. So such kind of possessiveness, whether it is a psychological problem or it is a neurological problem.
It is basically they are born with a psychic mind. Basically, it is in their brain. Maybe because of the influence of this online game. Online games challenge is always kill, kill, kill. That is what you have in many of the online games. Challenge is always to kill, kill, kill. So for many of the teenage kids, killing for them is just like a winning game, or is just like a normal thing for them. This teenage problems is basically very common. It's not a rare thing. Many things, this extreme of murder is seen rarely, but the extent of hurting or abusing is very common. Many of times this partner get abused very badly from the other person because they have been rejected. Is basically problem is that these people, they are not capable of, they are not being trained to handle rejection or negative things in life. Always given, they have been completely they have been supplied with things from the parents, from the teachers, or from the society. And once the transition phase, that is the 15 to 18 years, when they are supposed to take care of themselves, they are not able to handle that independency. And so suddenly what happens is that these people, because of this transition phase, they are not able to handle independency. They are not able to take care of themselves. Once they are forced into that state, they suddenly succumb to all the pressures and to all sort of wild things. It's very common. This 15 to 18 years of age is a very dangerous period because it is a transition from childhood to adulthood, and it's a very dangerous period also. So many of these unwanted crimes occurs during this period. Drugs problems, harm process, all this mass, all sort of antisocial activities is commonly seen in this age group, transition phase.
So we have few more questions.
Yeah.
So one question is that, sir, when a person dies, they have 7 minutes of brain activity left, which would be the brain playing back memories in a dream sequence. Is it true? Why does this happen?
This is that's not true. Whatever this 7, what they say is, sorry, when 1 second. When there is a reduction in the blood flow to the brain will be able to survive without blood flow for 3 to 5 minutes, maximum 7 minutes. But what they say is 3 to 5 minutes. That is what they say. Not that the brain has activity after heart stops. Brain has continuous activity. It's not like that. The brain can survive without blood flow for 3 to 5 minutes. That is the period of after 5 minutes. What happens is these nerves, when they are deprived of oxygen, when they are deprived of nutrition, they slowly get destroyed. So suppose a person develop a heart attack, suddenly the heart stops. If you do a CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, within 3 to 5 minutes, you will be able to bring the person back to life. That's what they say. So suppose you see a person after 5 minutes and you do CPR, suddenly heart rate is come back to life. What happens is that the brain may not recover because it has not been able to, we have not done it within the crucial 5 minutes. So even if the person comes back to life, he may be in a vegetative state or a semi-vegetative state. So this 3 to 5 minutes is a crucial period, means it is the period where the brain can survive without blood flow or oxygen nutrition to the brain. So that is the only meaning of this 3 to 5 minutes. So whenever there is a cardiac arrest, you have to make sure, because there's a choking in a restaurant, there's a choking, patient is not able to breathe. You cannot take him to hospital and revive him back, because by the time you reach hospital, this crucial period will be over, and by the time he's revived, he may be brain dead. So you have to revive him on the spot, that is at the society. So you have to do the Heimlich's maneuver. Many of you might be knowing what is this Heimlich's maneuver. That is a first aid maneuver to relieve shock. You have to relieve the shock on the site and revive him. So if you do that, that person survives. If you don't do it, you will be taking him to hospital and he will be declared dead in the hospital. So that is the importance. So this crucial 3 to 5 minutes is very crucial. So that is the time period to save the brain without blood flow.
Okay, sir. So what are the casual factors for sleepwalking? Is there any treatment required?
Sleepwalking is actually a disorder of sleep. Basically, what you can, there's no medicines. The only thing is that you have to give proper counseling. Definitely, another problem is they'll be having some subconscious stress or subconscious disturbance in the mind. So this constant level of counseling can help to some extent. But in some people, whatever you do, it may not come down. So actually, other than counseling and constant, this person should be aware of his problem, and you should make sure that he has a proper sleep. Try to help him get a proper sleep. That is what we can do. And counseling is the other thing we can do. But even in spite of all these things, still somnambulism may persist for life.
So can astral projection actually be done?
Astral projection, actually, I'm not used to such things. I don't think I'm an expert in answering such things. These are all things which people who know. I'm not used to such things. So I don't think I'm an expert in answering such a question. Sorry.
Okay, sir. So sleep apnea related to any neurological problem?
Sleep apnea. Sleep apnea actually is related to a problem of, is seen in obesity. It's in severe obesity when your throat muscles, the fat in your throat is very high. During sleep, what happens is that definitely in every people during sleep, your throat muscles relaxes. But in very obese people, what happens is with a short neck, obese people with short neck, what happens is when this there's only narrow space for the air to go. So when during the sleep the relaxation, when the muscles relax, this airway get obstructed. That's what happens during sleep apnea. Usually seen in obese people with a short neck. That is the most common thing. It can also be seen in people with having high adenoids. When the adenoid gland is up, due to constant infection, when it's increasing size, it can be seen. In some cases, known as in medullary, there's a sleep center is controlled by the medulla, and there is some lesions or some problems in the medulla. This sleep apnea can occur. That is when you go into deep sleep, suddenly breathing stops. Then you will have to wake up. So this is otherwise known as the Ondine's curse. This is also seen in any disorder or in some disorder of the medulla. That is a part of the lower part of the brainstem.
Can we, excuse me, sir, can we add the cortisol also to the hormones of negative hormones?
Yeah, cortisol actually hormones which is released excess during stress. Definitely in moderation it is okay, but if you have constantly been exposed to too much of stress, cortisol levels exceeds beyond a level, and it can destroy your tissues. You can see people in chronic stress. You can see that your collagen tissues destroys, and you can see always the black circles around your eyes. Then all your skins will be of very poor quality. Then you can see that this high cortisol levels can be harmful to the heart. It can be harmful to the lungs. It can be harmful to our digestive system. Too much of acidity. All this can occur. It can be harmful to our bones. The bone density increases. So definitely, chronic stress increases the level of cortisol, and it can damage the all the organs, and including the brain. It can also damage the neurons.
Like adrenaline and noradrenaline, we can add a cortisol also as a negative hormone.
Yes,
right?
yes, cortisol. It is all these hormones in moderation is necessary, because when you suddenly want to face a stressful situation, you need some amount of cortisol, you need some adrenaline. responding to that acute stress. But constantly continuous, if you are exposed to stress and these hormones are constantly high in our body, it is not good for our body.
Thank you, sir. Hope that every question has been clarified. Now, I welcome our beloved principal, Father Joshi Chirumguri CMI, to speak few words. Over to you, Acha.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Nothing more to add. It is a very enriching and very informative session delivered by our loving Dr. Arun Uman, neurologist from Lakeshore Hospital. So, Doctor, we are extremely grateful for your interaction with our students. It was a very informative session, as I mentioned earlier, avoiding the technical or medical terms or technical jargons. You spoke in a very simple common layman language that will be assimilating and very will be enriching for the students, especially more than 200 students are participating from the psychology streams, and all are very eagerly waiting for your words. And we are, from the college point of view, we are extremely thankful for your gracious presence and inaugurating this week activities of this mental health. As you said rightly, the physical health and mental health are the one and the same. That is the two sides of the one and the same coin. So we have to keep the physical health to keep the mental health properly. So thank you very much, Dr. Arun Uman, for your gracious presence. And I would like to appreciate the Department of Psychology for organizing such a beautiful program that will be very informative in nature. And I would like to acknowledge my sincere appreciation to the first year students. So far, I didn't see them physically. Now I have seen Ashley and some other students on the virtual mode. We will meet you. We hope we will meet you in personally on the next week, coming weeks. So this is the words. I don't speak at much length. So wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Acha. Now I invite Ms. Milena Saju to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I am Milana Siju from First Year Psychology, and it is my pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event. On behalf of the Post-Graduation Department of Psychology and Christo Jyoti College, I thank God Almighty for His blessings for allowing us to conduct this session. Together, we can, with regard to this Mental Health Observation Week. I would like to thank our beloved principal, Father Joshi Chirumguri CMI, for his constant support and guidance. I also thank our Vice Principal, Dr. Varghese Anthony, for his encouragement. I extend a sincere gratitude to our speaker, Dr. Arun Uman, neurosurgeon at Lakeshore Hospital, Cochin. I'm sure the session was very informative and fruitful for everyone. Thank you, sir, for your time and effort. Special thanks to our HOD, Dr. Angel Thomas, for giving us this wonderful opportunity. I would like to thank IQAC coordinators, Dr. Sushil George Joseph and Dr. Anu Anthony, for providing us with such a platform. Next, I would like to thank the coordinators of this event, Ms. Prinsha Rajan and Ms. Krupa Dina Matthews, Assistant Professors of Department of Psychology, for the constant guidance and support in all ways. I would also like to thank Ms. Ashley Anna Anil for anchoring, Ms. Bitty Molvarkis for the prayer song, Ms. Rohini Ravi Kumar, Assistant Professor of Department of Psychology, for the welcome speech, and Ms. Gayatri Jones for the guest introduction. I sincerely thank each and every one of you for sparing your time in attending the session. Once again, thank you.
Now the session has come to an end. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you,
Father
Thank you.
Joshi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Angel, for the opportunity. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Dr. Arun.